Alright, and we are off. Today is day... Cat, move your hindquarters. Jesus, beeline. Oh my god. Why are you moving things? Today is... falling apart. That's what it is. Also known as day 102. Little cat, you're touching about half... You almost put your entire ear in my mouth. Oh. Today's day 102 of the year, and you're on my phone, which we are using for chat. Okay. No. This is not going to turn into the little kitty show. Wrong. You were adopted. Yeah, think about that. Okay. You hold the phone. Don't move. I need to check on OBS. Okay, and you're moving. You're the worst. This is just awful, cat. Awful. Oh. Let's check everything is still relatively okay with OBS. There's this. There's the webcam. We're good. Here's the mic, mostly situated. We have chat. And we're set. We're set. We definitely have Little Kitty. Alright. We're going to try this again. From the top. Day 102. Today is day 102. We are continuing on. 10% of the way through. Learn ReactJS Part 2. Currently, we are trapped on our chair is stuck. Currently, we are on child components update their parents' state. Alright. Let's take a look. We finished section 1. Well, part 1 of section 1. Now we will be going on to part 2. Section 1 is stateless components inherit from stateful components, which is what the first section was also titled. And now we're on to child components update their parents' state. We may do an additional section. It showed there were only 5 sections, which is kind of a small amount. We may do 2 lessons, but we'll see how long that one section takes. It is yet again another late stream, 11:51, heading into midnight. So we had another full day. Got to the stream late. Nothing new there. But why does it say we're already 20% of the way through? Because there's no activity on section 1. That's why. Alright, well, let's do this. Go time. No time like the present. Right, little cat? Good. She agrees. We're not on section 2. We're on section 1. And it loads, and we're loading. Ta-da! The dod too soon. Still not loaded. There we go. Steps 1, 2, and 3. Very cool. Onwards. Ready, little cat? Yeah? You excited? You seem kind of sleepy. That's alright. Sleepy, excited, they're so similar. In the last lesson, you passed information from a stateful parent component to a stateless child component. In this lesson, you'll be expanding on that pattern. The stateless child component will update the state of the parent component. Here's how that works. 1. The parent component class defines a function that calls this .setState. For example, look in step1.js at the handle click function. 2. Once the parent has defined, well, I guess we should look at it first. Okay, we're looking. We've got handle click function, variable total, this.state.total clicks. The parent component class defines... Oh, no, just kidding. 2. We were reading 1 again. All lies. 2. Well, 2, technically. Once the parent has defined a function that updates its state, the parent then passes that function down to a child. Look at step 2 at the prop on line 21. Step 2, line 21, prop life. On click equals this dot handle click. 3, the child receives the pass down function and uses it as an event handler. Look in step 3.js. When a user clicks on the button, a click event will fire. This will make the pass down function get called, which will update the parent state. Click through the 3 files in order to try and follow their chronology? Yeah, chronology. Good. Whenever you're ready, click next and we'll build an example. Little cat? No. She's rolling over onto her side and her back, trying to be all cute, and she's trying to suss out scratches from me. But we need to focus on the stream, not the little cat. God, you're so cute though. So hard not to touch her face. Okay, we're struggling focusing. That's alright. That's okay. She is incredibly furry, so, there's that. Section 2. To make a child component, update its parent's state. The first step is something that you've seen before. You must define a state-changing function on the parent. Two steps for the instructions. Large steps, but 2 steps nonetheless. Select child.js. Also, we're going back. We didn't even click on 1, 2, and 3. I mean, we did when we first went through, but that was just because we saw them. So, step 1.js, we've got variable React, variable React DOM, variable React, variable child class, variable parent class, our handle click function, and then calling handle click will result in a state change. This dot set state total clicks total plus 1. Step 2, we've got variable React DOM in child class. We've got variable parent class, handle click function again. The stateful component class passes down handle click to stateless component class. Render function return child class on click dot handle click. And then step 3, variable React DOM, variable child class. The stateless component class uses the pass down handle click function accessed here at this dot props dot on click as an event handler. Button on click this dot props dot on click. Click me, cool, followed by module dot exports equals child class. All right, you read through all 3 steps. We're on section 2. Making child stuff. Oh, lots of highlighting. Excessive highlighting. Good. Instructions. Select child.js. Click child acquired. Look at child's render function. And we're looking. It's similar to the last lesson, but you can see a select drop-down menu wasn't there before. Just select drop-down. We've got return, div, h1 stuff, followed by select ID, great names, options, option again, and third option. Closing select, closing div, and then followed by module dot exports. Okay, so you can see a select drop-down menu that wasn't there. 4, click run. Try selecting different names from the drop-down menu in the browser. It doesn't work. When you select a name, that name is supposed to replace... cat, your little toe claws. Holy hell. We almost lost the lung. Okay. Good. Well, at least we have the desk back, so, we lost some blood, but we gained a desk. That's nice. Wow. Yeah, that was a good one, little cat. You really sunk your claws in. Not that coordinated with her feet. Lacking the toe motor skills. Alright. Click Run. Try selecting different names from the drop-down menu in the browser. It doesn't work. When you select a name, that name is supposed to replace Arthur. Am I saying? I gotta be saying it wrong. Why? Is it some famous dude's last name and I've just been totally butchering it? Beach. Speak, robot voice. How do we pronounce it? For Arthur? That can't be right. Once more. No, with the robot accent from the computer, sounds like definitely not it. The wrong robot is not the correct dialect for that name. Definitely not. Alright. Look at line 8. Notice that the name inside of the h1 tags is equal to this.props.name. In order to make the drop-down menu change the h1 tags, you will need the drop-down menu to change the value of this.props.name. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So first things first, they want us to just hit run, fire through all that stuff, and realize the difference. We've got Gromulus and Think Piece, but nothing's changing. It's just this guy, right? Just that dude. So look at line 8. Line 8, hey, my name is this.props.name. Notice that the name inside of blah is equal to blank. In order to make the drop-down menu change the h1, you need the drop-down menu to change the value of blankety blankety blank. How can you change child's this.props name? Open parent.js, look at lines 12 and 13. We're jumping back to parent, lines 12 and 13. Here's our self-closing child element. Self-closing child tag. No. Our child component instance. Child component class. There's so many phrases. This is what we get for trying to learn, I don't know, 10 different languages over 100 days. The glossary, or all the vocab for all this stuff, terminology, is just, well, for lack of a better word, an absolute clusterfuck. So, yeah, it's just a vernacular shitstorm, really. Good. We're moving on. 2. How can you change that? Open parent.js, look at lines 12 and 13. Parent renders a child, passing in a name prop. This name prop is the same value that the child displays in h1. Child, name, this.state.name. Cool. You need child's drop-down menu to change parents this.state.name. That will cause child's blank, the child instance component, we'll call it the component. That will cause the child component to get past a new name prop. There we go. Punctuation is our friend. I was struggling, not we, just me. I was ruining it for everybody. That will cause child to get past a new name prop, which will change the name displayed on the screen. In parent.js, define a new function that can change this.state.name, change name function, new name, this.setState, name, new name, and then all of that, and then the render function. Don't forget the trusty quote. So we've got our render function. Give it a little bit of space. Let's do change name function. I know we could have copied, but I'd prefer to get in a little of our own typing because I need to practice. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Okay. We're here and we're looking at stuff. This dot set state. Pretty sure that's not what's needed. I feel like this is really generic. I mean, that might be right, but I think this is all just a generic example. Pretty sure I should have the correct names in there. We'll see. We will see. We're getting there. We are getting there. Chin up, stiff upper lip, all that good stuff. This dot set state curly something. Does that seem right? That seems relatively okay. One too many spaces. Name. New name. And then the render function. We're going to run it. New name. We forgot that bit. I forgot that bit. It should give us an error. Huh. I was expecting the worst. That it was actually the right code we needed. And we have a green check mark, which means, hopefully, it should change the names? No, are we still... We're still getting there. We're on our way to it changing names. Next. In the last exercise, you defined a function in parent that can change parent's state. Parent must pass this function down to child so that child can use it in an event listener on the drop-down menu. Okay, so we still got some more work to do. 1. Pass change name down to child. Pass change name down to child. In parent.js, inside of parent renders function, add a second attribute to child. Give this attribute a name of onChange and a value of the change name function. Okay, we're going to the second attribute. So it already has a name. Should we give it a quote? No, we don't give it a quote. I think we just keep adding on. I'm pretty sure I just keep adding things on. OnChange. Yeah. It's got the same color layout, font, if you will, font styling, as the other stuff. And usually it only gives you the proper font styling if you have the right syntax, I guess. Right phrases in the right place. Syntax equals, so that's a good sign. Curly stuff. Change name. Change name should not be capital. Well, the C shouldn't be. Camel case. I wonder if there should be a space after that. I don't think they had a space after the name. There's probably no space. And also, probably doesn't matter in the real world. In the real world or a real world scenario, it probably shouldn't matter. For activities, though, I'm pretty sure Codecademy does focus on some of those. I've had a couple lessons where it's given me issues if there is a space or not a space between the closing slash. All right, so we're staying afloat. We're on section 3 of 5. We're getting there. We just need to run this, see what it thinks, run either an angry red error or friendly green check mark. What do we think? It's still thinking, which means there's a high chance that I did something wrong. Probably on the syntax front. Could be a quote. Kind of feel like I should have put a quote after name and then on change. That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. So, how much longer do you think we should wait? I'm thinking let's just refresh the page now and hope for the best. I like that plan. Refresh once more. Quote, not quote, comma. Add a comma after name. If it loads, we're thinking about it. Side note, who else is exhausted, right? Raise a hands? No? That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I don't think commas are supposed to be green. My spidey senses tell me I'm very wrong. We're gonna run it for fun. Cool, syntax error. At least it finished running. Last time it just spun there. That error doesn't help us as much as we would like it to. Things MacGyver would do to get out of this. Probably just turn the computer off. However, I don't think that's going to solve our immediate issue here at Codecademy. Comma, although it did get some results, didn't get the right results, so we're going to set that to the side for now. Give an attribute the name of onChange. OnChange equals and a value of the change name function. Change name function. Pass change name down to child. In parent.js, inside of parent's render function, add a second attribute to child. I'm pretty sure we tagged. Here's the parent. Here's the render function. Here's the child stuff. We'll try it with the space at the end. I really hope that's not the issue. Thinking. Okay, good, cool. And this time we have an error without the comma. There we go. There we go. Change name. All right, this is good. Name this dot state name, comma. We don't have a comma anymore. On change name. Reference error. Change name is not defined. Okay. Not to worry. Not to worry. Totally cool. Totally cool. This is helpful. So we have. It's simply exporting child. We've got parent. Change name doesn't exist yet. Because of something. Function, new name. Quote stuff. Returning things. I have no idea. I think it's just the syntax. Maybe I screwed up on the syntax for change name, but I thought I copied their syntax. Oh my god, do you think I should steal there? Let's do that. That's a good idea. And before we go running to the forums, we're going to try that. We're going to take you. All right. So we've got our example. Copy. We're going on to section 3 now. Oh, we had a space there. I don't think that's going to change anyone's day. $14. Boom. So change name, function, new name. This dot set state, name, blah, and blah. The only thing that I really notice is that this back a line. I don't know if it should be back a line though. This would also be back a line. And this would too. 1, 2. Does everything go back? I guess we could have highlighted everything and moved it back some. So that's what we have now. And paste. No. Z. That's what we have. That's what they have. Don't mind the weird indentation for the change name function. Technically, they had it like this. You know, maybe it was my stuff. You know what? That shouldn't be lined up because it's ruining the format or the font. Not the font. The formatting in the indentation. This, I'll be over 1, and that makes it normal. Which this is what I had. We will do asterisks for this. If this doesn't work, then we'll go to the forums or Google it or whatever seems easier and quickest. Asterisks. Lash run. Ours is totally given up. Infinitely spinning. Thinking about it. Refresh. This dot set state name, new name. New name is the value in the function. I must be missing something. Maybe it's change name in quotes. Maybe it's the double curly braces. We'll never know. The last thing is get rid of what I typed in and just leave the example from the last exercise, which was the same as what we had typed out because we just copied theirs. And it gives us an error. Return an error, maybe have a syntax error or a typo. Change name is not defined. That is okay. Let's go ahead and figure out what we did wrong. Really struggling with the trackpad to highlight. Okay. Enter. Let's see what we get. Question 3, part 2. So we have, this is what we have. Change name function blah. Render function child. Oh, we had to add it to both the render function and change name? I guess that makes sense. I wasn't doing that at all. It's the second bit. Not sure why I can't get the following code to work in the parent.js. 1. Pass name change down to child in parent.js. Inside of parent's render function, add a second attribute. Give this attribute a name of onChange in the value of the change name function. No comma needed between attributes. I don't think so. So between attributes, they're talking about this guy. Oh, maybe I just didn't complete. So this dot name change, that's what I needed. I need this dot name change and probably this dot state dot name as well. Also change this dot name change since you're just passing the function. It works now. So I don't think I need the this dot, but it does sound like I do need the parentheses of this dot state dot name. So we're just gonna copy. You know what? We'll stick with what we have. This dot state dot name, copy, parentheses, paste. Let's see how this goes. Run it. Was that the missing piece? It's thinking. Red X. Close. What about this dot change name? Doesn't feel right either. Angry Red X. This is brutal. I have got nothing. It works now. What do they mean it works now? On change. Gotta be missing something. Wonder what it could be. We'll try a different page. I mean, that seems like it was the right answer, but we're still stuck, so clearly I'm missing something. This is what I was talking about. Even though it's only 5 sections, if it takes a while, we may just be doing one lesson, so we're on 3 of 5. I checked other posts and think the code looks correct. Also, tried to log out and log in again, but when I press the run button, it keeps spinning and nothing happens. Please help. Variable React require React. Variable React DOM require React DOM. Variable child require child. We've got all that fun stuff at the top. Cool. Variable parent dot create class, get initial state function, return name law, change name function, new name, this dot state name new. This dot change name, but we did this dot change name. Oh, but it was just spinning infinitely for them, so that's good. So they're equally confused too. Update Firefox. Updated Firefox, now it works. Stuck on the next section. Still the same problem. Pressed run, spinning forever, nothing happens. Well, their problem never got solved. I wonder what that means. Earned learner. There was a little notification next to my name. Earned learner. Available title. Awarded multiple times. Badges member. This badge is granted when you reach trust level 1. Thanks for sticking around a little while and reading a few topics to learn what our community is about. Your new user restrictions have been lifted. You've been granted all essential community abilities such as personal messaging, flagging, wiki editing, and the ability to post multiple images and links. Granted February 15th. Okay, so we've had this for a little while now. Good. Basically a month. Kind of. No, 2 months. Wait, February, March, and April. Yep, 2 months. Yeah, good. Glad I'm noticing this now. Okay. So But at least we learned something. That's not what we were looking for, but that is new info. I am totally dying. Don't mind me. Face, nose blowing, right? We'll mute the mic. So graceful. Can't breathe. That's okay. Oxygen's for winners, and currently we are losing hard right now. Oh, so painful. So why? Let's take a look at it once more. 1. Pass change name down to child. We did that. In parent.js, we are in parent.js. Inside of parent's render function, here's our render function. Inside of it, add a second attribute to child. Here's child. Here was the first attribute. We're adding the second one. Give this attribute a name of onChange, which we have. OnChange equals curly brackets and a value of the change name function. Here's the change name function. So I'm pretty sure it's just change name. But maybe it's this dot change name or something. I know. Okay. I think we're getting close. Only getting a red X on the exercise. And no error messages? That's weird. Well, that's a new one we haven't come across. None of the various changes I've tried have worked. Would like to blame it on the exercise being buggy, but I know it's probably user error. Kudos, DCH. Way to call it. Of course it's user error. I'm the issue. I know it's not the code that's wrong. Steven's wrong. We've accepted that. I mean, I know the code's not right for the activity, but the only reason why it's not right is because I don't know how to make it right. That's why we're here to learn. So, well, they're not even bringing stuff from the right area. Receive the event handler 2 to 3 not passing. This is like a totally different. On change this dot prop dot change name. On change equals this dot props dot on change. Oh. And they've added it to child. H1 select ID options blah 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 blah. ID equals great names on change equals this dot prop, and it should be props from what they're saying. Let's try that. Okay. This is good. Child, because we were getting a thing where it didn't know. The error we were getting when we would get an error was saying it had no clue what the hell on change or what the hell change name was. It had zero context. So I felt like we had a loose end. Apparently, this was our loose end. Select gets ID, but it also needs the second. Was it change name or on change? On change. On change. We're good. We're tying this together. On change equals never give up, never surrender. This dot props s on change. Piece dot props s. Change name. I shouldn't have focused so much on the s. Can't remember the rest. Name. This dot change name. Yeah, good, cool. Okay. Maybe that's enough to fix our issue. Please, God. Run. Thinking. Having trouble. Get code? Hell yeah. And lost is... Get code. This dot change name? Are you friggin' kidding me? We had this dot change name. But you know what? And it got rid of that. You slimy. Get help. I want to restart, or I need help with this. I want to restart the exercise. What are they going to change? And you know what? I wonder if it was just the formatting of it. Yeah, let's copy this whole thing. Copy. Get help. Restart. You can get a clean slate. Reset. That was it. It was this. This is what they're providing us. This is the blank template. This was the answer. It was simply on change. And we did. I'm pretty damn sure I did. On change. But up here, on change equals this dot change name. And what is it total? This on change, this dot change name. We've got on change this dot change name. Okay, see that? But theirs is indented, or you know, entered. It's multi-line. They hit enter, drop down a line. I've got it all on the same line. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Run. Oh my god, and it gives us a green check mark. I was so sure it was going to blow up in our face. Damn it all. Maybe it just needed to be... I don't know. You know what? I think we had a syntax issue. I think... Those. Wait a second. You didn't change anything. I mean, I didn't change anything. I saw the return thing. I was concerned about messing up the change name thing. I don't know what it was. I'm going to go back. I'm going to verify. I know I had on change equals this dot name change at some point. Damn it. I know I did. I digress. We'll deal with the fact that I suck, but still. Something's up. Section 4. Ah, bastards. Alright, okay. Doing relatively awful, but that's normal. After 102 days. Tomorrow will be 103. Although we're technically 30 minutes into tomorrow, but that's because we started late. Doesn't matter. Also, moving on, section 4. You just passed a function down to child and can change parent's state. 1. Select child.js. Selecting child. Boom. Selected. If a user selects a new name from the drop-down menu, then you want child to call change name. Change name will change that parent's this.state.name, which will change the name displayed in the H1. Inside the child's render function, give select a new attribute. Make this attribute's name on change. This will create an event listener. Make the attribute's value equal to the function you passed in from parent.js. If you can't remember what prop name you used, then check parent.renders function. Alright, so we're going to select We're adding stuff now. Space on change name on change. Boom. Ta-da. Child. Select on change. Copy. Boom. Equals curly braces. Feeling good. We're doing okay. This dot prop dot change name. Copy this dot change name. I guess that. Make the attribute's value equal to the function that you passed in from parent.js. If you can't remember what prop name you use, then check out. If it doesn't like this dot change name, we'll throw in prop or props, plural, with an S. And aside from that, I don't think there's a whole lot more to do regarding instruction 1. Thinking about it, red X, that's cool. And look at this. Props, they even tell us this dot props on, and it's on change. Not even change name. Look at that. You know, you learn something every day. Although we've been learning the same lesson for the last 102 days, and it's that Steven sucks at coding. So, you know, at least that's an easy one to track. We always have our source point, 0, 0, 0. Where are we putting this? Line 10. Line 10. You know what? The Brady Bunch isn't going to help us right now. Moving on. Moving on. Run. How's that look? From red to green? Hot damn. Good. We got our green check mark. Beautiful. Section 2. They've even got a third instruction. Very nice. Okay. Try selecting a new name from the drop-down menu. It doesn't work. Why not? Take another look at this .props.onChange. Change name function. New name. This .state. This .set state. Name. New name. This function needs to be passed a new name as an argument in order to work properly. When a user selects a new drop-down item, it will invoke change name, but it won't pass the correct argument. Instead of passing a new name, it will pass an event object, as all event listeners do. This is a common problem when passing down an event handler in React. The solution is to define another function. This new function should take an event object as an argument, extract the name that you want from that event object, and then call the event handler, passing in the extracted name. Sounds like a lot, but you will see this happen so often that will feel intuitive. In child.js, before the render function, define a new function that can be passed an event object. Okay. In child.js, so we're in child, parent, child. Cool. We're in the right place. In child.js, before the render function, define a new function that can be passed an event object. Handle change function E, and we could just copy all this. We're going to type it out. Variable name equals E dot target dot value. This dot props on change name, then followed by the render function. So let's get this out. Handle change colon function E open curly braces, closed, comma. Oh, sure you're happy. Boom. Variable name e dot target dot value, semicolon, followed by this dot props dot on change with name in parentheses included. This dot props dot name. Oh, just kidding, not name. Bad Steven. Even said it out loud like 4 seconds ago. How could you forget? Typical human. Tiny brains, forgetful. All those damn fingers and toes wiggling. Barely control themselves. Just awful. Name. And, yeah, cool. That looks pretty damn spot on as far as copying goes, right? So let's run that. There's no reason we should get an error for that. But who knows? My capacity to break things is pretty phenomenal, not gonna lie. Probably not the best skill to have, but it's a skill nonetheless. 3. You've defined a new function that can take an event object and use it to correctly update the parent state. Now let's put that new function to use. In child's render function, change the event handler from this dot props dot on change to this dot handle change. You see that? Pretty freaking clever. Click run and try selecting some different names from the drop down menu. It should work. Cool. So we are swapping out in the select this dot blah to this dot handle change. We're gonna run it. Hopefully it gives us a green check mark. Thinking about it, thinking. Boom, green check mark in the bag, and now is our drop down menu function. We've got we'll try Gromulus. Shabam! Gromulus changed. And think piece and back to beautiful. Look at that, beautiful. Fan friggin' tastic. Okay. Way cool. Next, section 5. Looks like there was nothing to do on section 5, and we got our achievement, but regardless, we still get to read through all this fun. Now, we will read through that. From the top. Great work. Stateless components updating their parent state is a React pattern that you'll see more and more. Learning to recognize it will help you understand how React apps are organized. There's something strange going on though. Take a look at change name. You can see that it calls this dot set state. In order for change name to work, the this in this dot set state must be the instructions object of the parent class. You're trying to set a parent's state, not some other type of component state. The meaning of this is determined when a function is called, not when a function is defined. Change name is called by an event listener on a child. Shouldn't that make this point to the instructions object of the child class instead of the parent class? You'd think that it would. Fortunately, it doesn't happen that way, thanks to some React magic called automatic binding. Automatic binding allows you to pass functions as props, and any this value in the function's bodies will automatically refer to whatever they referred to when the function was defined. No binding to worry about. If you're... Am I being stumped? Is this a typo? Is this a test? Am I being punked? If you're your I'm going to pretend like these letters don't exist. Despite the grammatical confusion it's going to cause, just jumping straight from your to can, but bear with me. If your can learn more about automatic, maybe if you want, you can. If you're interested, you, yeah, they forgot interested and Y, the letter Y, to complete the word you. This word and the word interested should be crammed somewhere in here. If you're interested, you can learn more about automatic binding here, which we will click on. Super hard. And we'll close out of that nonsense. That's loading. Click next to move on to the final version of our programming pattern. Okay, more stuff, and they brought us to the Facebook GitHub before. New in React version 4.0, auto bind by default. What is React auto bind? If you look at most of our current examples, you'll see us using React.autobind for event handlers. This is used in place of function.prototype.bind. Remember that in JS, function calls are late bound. That means that if you simply pass a function around, the this used inside won't necessarily be the this you expect. Function.prototype.bind creates new properly bound functions so that when called, this is exactly what you'd expect it to be. Okay, cool. So that's a good little synopsis, and there's some more info there. We'll close out of that for now. Blitzkrieg. Codecademy teaches you grammar and sentence correcting. Oh my god. It's like this is the coding equivalent of like Mad Libs. It's been brutal. It's like fill in your own instructions. Kind of like if they took like a Scrabble board and like shook up all the pieces and just like dumped them out. Oh my god. Which has made learning extremely, we're going to call it interesting. Because like learning in a challenging environment is good because it forces you to like really deal with stuff and mull things over. I wouldn't say it's needlessly difficult, but it doesn't help having unclear instructions. Not in like an enjoyable way. I think it does actually kind of help having some of the issues because it makes me stop and read through their instructions like 6 more times than I should need to. But yeah, so it's a blessing and a curse. Mostly a curse though. I'm just trying to be optimistic and not lose all hope. But you know, I've knuckled under for 102 days, so that's I think the odds are in our favor so far. But yeah, good times. So we made it 5 of 5. Up next, we're going to take a peek at what we have for tomorrow's lesson, which will be day 103, and then we will close out today, day 102. Up next, child components update their siblings' props. Learn the final piece of the pattern. A child component updates the props of its siblings. Start lesson. So for tomorrow, what do we have? We've got patterns within patterns within patterns. Very Inception-y. Way cool. And, okay, another 5 for tomorrow. Not too bad. In lesson 1, you learned your first React programming pattern. A stateful parent component passes down a prop to a stateless child component. In lesson 2, you learned that lesson 1's pattern is actually part of a larger pattern. A stateful parent component passes down an event handler to a stateless child component. The child component then uses that event handler to update its parent state. In this lesson, we will expand the pattern one last time. A child component updates its parent state, and the parent passes that state to a sibling component. An understanding of this final pattern will be very helpful in the world, not to mention in the next React course. Click next, and we will build an example. Way cool. So that's what's on the horizon for tomorrow. Kind of want to knock it out now, but it's rather late for where I am. We are approaching 1 a.m. and we had a long, fun day. So that's about as much progress as I can handle for tonight here at Codecademy, but progress nonetheless. Good times. Let's go ahead and check out our stats for where we stand when we conclude today 102. We're backing out. Let's see percentage-wise where we're at. Day 102, we end at 20% of the way through Learn ReactJS Part 2, and we currently stand at 1,196 points of arbitrary confusion and progress here at Codecademy, and we have 164 badges to our name now. Good times. All right. Well, thank you to anyone who stopped by to view. It's greatly appreciated. Blitz Chris, Danka, I appreciate your time. And yeah, good. All right, successful day. Let's go ahead and close out the stream. Stop stream? Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Hell yeah. Kill it.